Hello and welcome in. I am MissKinghorn and we are back here in The Sims 4, and this week we are building a modern barn, which is a little bit of a rustic kind of style. You can tell at the end. Well, let me know in the comments what you think of this sort of thing in here, but we are building it in Granite Falls in here, so it is going to be a rental, but it I think fits with that quite nicely. It could be used as maybe a holiday home, or maybe as somewhere your sort of Sims can go, have a little bit of a break here and there. In there, it does only have one bedroom, one bathroom, so it's not really like a family sort of rental, but it's a nice place just for a couple of Sims to go and relax into there. Now this is a swimming pool. I built it as a swimming pool because I had every intention of allowing your Sims to actually access it. In the end, I don't put like the steps to get into it and things like that, and I do place all of these rocks around it, and I kind of use it more as like a mini lake or like a pond. But yeah, so I kind of use it more that way than an actual swimming pool, which I should have just changed it over to being a sort of a hole in the ground sort of lake rather than that. But it fits quite nicely, and we kind of cover it all up. We get some ducks and we get all sorts of other bits and pieces in. You also see that later on. Now, using a lot of debug pieces from the new horse ranch kit, this build is heavily inspired by a lot of the items that we got from that pack into here, although we're not obviously using it in the world. I struggled when I was deciding where to build this. Originally it was going to be in Millwood, because it's kind of like a really wooded kind of area, but it didn't really fit with like the whole werewolf kind of feel that was going on. And then I thought about in some of the other worlds that we've had, where it's like really nice of autumn kind of colours, and there's all of those, but in the end I thought we'll go back to basics and have it here. And now this is a 40 by 30 lot, so it's quite a big lot. The actual building on here is quite small. There's a lot of sort of landscaping and plants. I don't show you all of it as per usual because, well, let's be fair, we'd be here forever if I did. So you can sort of see this front section I do use a lot of sort of planting, and we kind of use these throughout as well. The back is kind of a little bit more open, kind of some taller trees that kind of fit the vibe of this world, and then also some like bushes and shrubbery and stuff like that in as well. You'll sort of see that if you obviously download this lot or check out the screenshots at the end, but it is very much a forward facing lot. Now we have a huge kind of front deck kind of terrace area, which I thought was quite nice. It's something that I seem to be doing a little bit more of recently, kind of working more on the front of the field and having maybe what I would normally typically describe as the back garden at the front. I feel like it works better for screenshots, and I've seen a lot of other people sort of doing it in that sort of style, so that's kind of what I was thinking of in here. Don't worry about the lots in background. That is one I actually did for a build challenge recently. That was a holiday caravan build, family fun holiday camping thing that I did a couple of months ago in the background. So yeah, but yeah, we use a lot of platforms. I don't know how I feel about platforms. We've had them a while, but I'm still not 100% sure on them. Yeah, I feel like because we've not got all of the textures that like the foundation kind of like paint or textures, wallpaper, whatever you want to call them, in a foundation, it kind of makes it quite difficult, because like with this I really wanted the new stone, and I wanted to use the new stone quite a lot with this build, but because it didn't work on the platforms, there's just not a colour variant for it or an option, I couldn't. So I ended up having to use a base game stone throughout my build because I couldn't use it on the platform. And I was like, well, I want it on the platform, essentially. I wanted it to all work, but I couldn't. So yeah, we went back to a base game variant into here. But I hope it makes sense and it looks okay in there. So using sort of different kind of textures and floor patterns here as well. So we've kind of got the big stones, we've got some wooden slats, and we've also got the sort of crazy paving. That's what we would always call it. I had my very first house when I was a child. We had a huge crazy paving kind of area like that, where we had all those big sort of stones. So yeah, that's what I put into here. But this is the sort of ground floor of this. It does have a kind of a mezzanine level upstairs, which has the bedroom in it. But yeah, it feels quite big looking at it here, but actually it's a really small home. So this is where I ended up having to use the external sort of stone, and we use that inside as well, in for like the bathroom and stuff into there. But we are jumping straight inside. So a little entrance kind of area. It's an all-in-one really room, barring obviously it's kind of split up into a few other bits and pieces here and there. But yeah, we have this sort of front area where we just have a little hallway table, a few little bits and pieces on, and we also get the dining table in there as well. But this is the little living area, kind of hideaway. I feel like on maybe a nice autumn day you can be snuggled up in here, maybe a blanket on. There is a fire place we get in as well, maybe watching a movie kind of thing into there. All works really well, and I do use a lot of candles in this build, which, as somebody who actually owns a wooden building like this at work, we don't have candles at work for the reason that candles and wood do not match. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily use the candles, but they're there for decorative reasons, and yeah, they look pretty, so why not? They are also in glass canisters as well, so it's a bit fun into there. Now I do skip ahead a little bit here because these chairs, I kind of wanted some cushions on them, and we don't have cushions per se that like we can just move around, so I ended up having to use the base game chairs and use those as cushions, which looks okay, but you have like sticking out legs at the bottom and it just doesn't look overly good. So we have those in there, but it is all fully functional. I have playtested this lot as well. You obviously see the sims and the playtest in the screenshots that I use for that in here. So this is the fireplace. Now this isn't usable because I raised it up. I think I had to raise it up to 2 in here, and the game only registers things if it's raised up once, which I should have really realised, but I had it all in and I wasn't going to change it because it meant I had to change all the screenshots and everything. So you just have to lower it down slightly into there. But then this is the big dining table. I used a big 6-seater table in here, but it fits. It feels right to have a big table in here, maybe a bit of socialising in there as well. And then this sort of backspace is going to be the kitchen. But I'm trying to find things that actually kind of fit this whole sort of vibe and build in here. It's a little bit different to sort of my normal style, very sort of rustic, very sort of wooden and homely, and things like that in here. So I actually quite like this. I wouldn't mind going and staying in a place like this in real life. So yeah, it feels like it's a perfect little home for me, I've got to be fair. This is the kitchen. It is quite small, and we do get an island in, but lots of sort of cabinet space and lots of open sort of shelving here. You can see I tried to keep clutter to a minimum. I thought if this was going to be a rental, it wouldn't really fit having lots of sort of personal clutter and stuff. So I just had some little canisters on the shelving here, little bits of sort of cups by the coffee maker, things like that. Now I had a real issue with like the colour theme for this build. You can sort of see I kind of went for an orange feel, but then outside it's very purpley because a lot of the plants we have are kind of like a purple colour. So it was kind of a bit of a weird one, but I do kind of get in some blues, some creams sort of to fit in as well. Now I tried to extend those to make it look like they fitted into there. I can only do the top one, but it worked. It was okay into there. And then this is obviously the rest of the kitchen. Very basic, very simple, not a lot of sort of detail or anything over the top. I do try to make it a little bit bigger, but it just didn't fit with this sort of vibe into here, so that's where you only have the 2, but obviously you have a big 6-seater table. Now there are lots of packs I use for this build, and I do apologise for that. I do normally try to limit myself to the number of packs, but I was finding just that little one item that I wanted, that one little piece from here and there. So I do end up using quite a few packs of like just 1 or 2 items, which is not necessarily what I would normally do, but this is a little bit outside my normal zone. So I don't know, let me know if you like it, if you want to see more of these kind of builds in here. But very sort of, it's different to what I would normally do. It's not a family home, it's not a sort of a large sort of suburban or anything like that. And I'm trying to push myself on here a little bit and doing different things and different styles and different things, which is why we had a whole range of sort of commercial lots and all of those. And I do want to test myself and see what fits and what you're liking as well. So do let me know if you have a particular style in mind or a idea into there. We can always have a little try into that. Now I was thinking this back wall, it didn't really fit right having it just as a wooden wall. So in the end we use these panel sort of pieces, and I do kind of overlap them and kind of make it a constant sort of back wall into here of these little pieces, which I thought worked really well. It just gives it that nice little contrast into there. I've seen some really cool things done with these sort of wooden slats, so I tried to do something a little bit different. It still fits, it's made of wood, so it's a little bit rustic into there, and then getting the picture on the outside of those up there as well. As I say, this is a dine out picture. I didn't use any custom artwork for this build, so it is all completely in game, which is fine. Any gallery artwork or anything like that, there's none of that in here. And trying to get everything to match into this light sort of whitish creamish wood was really difficult to do, because not a lot of stuff matches, so it's kind of a hodgepodge of different packs and things in there. But yeah, we are speeding through this build. So that is the upstairs bedroom kind of all done. I've just got a little bit of a plant to come out in here. I feel like that would be a really nice place to sit if it's raining, if it's like that autumn sort of day. In there you can sort of be snuggled up, which is exactly the mood I was in for this build. It has been raining here in the UK for I think around about 6 weeks now, of pretty much every day, and I'm done with it. Can we like have some dry weather, please? I'm saying this as it's raining outside, so that kind of autumn feel is very much in at the moment here, because yeah, it's very much autumn right now, even though it's August into here. So that's what I'm feeling right now. So yeah, there's a big light getting it into here as well, just sort of moving that to its in the middle in there. So you have a smaller one upstairs and then a bigger one in that sort of open mezzanine. Now, you know, we all wanted painted ceilings and they were like the big in thing for like a week. Yeah, well, guess who forgot to paint the ceiling? Yeah, me. I forgot all about it until the screenshots. So, yeah. Oopsies. Obviously, most of this is sort of that big 2-tiered sort of ceiling. So it doesn't really matter too much, but obviously the 2 sort of wings, sort of the bits on either side, those we don't paint either. Yeah. I totally forgot all about it. But this is the bathroom. So this is actually downstairs into here. It's a very big sort of bathroom. It's ridiculously large, and I did think about maybe changing it and getting a second bedroom in here, but there wasn't really room for that, so I kind of had the option of one or the other. But yeah, I couldn't find anywhere else to put this bathroom if I wanted to have all of this space as a bedroom, so it had to go as the big bathroom. But I think we're getting a bath and a big walk-in shower, so it kind of makes sense a little bit into here and fits very much in that sort of rustic vibe. So basically the wallpaper on the outside is the wallpaper on the inside. I do slightly change the colour of it. It's a little bit paler on the inside than outside. I feel like it would be a more softer sort of colour into here, and then obviously the stones you can see are the base game ones that I said about earlier on, because I can't use the new ones. Grr. But anyway, this is the bathroom in here, so we just get a couple of little plants and then we move on to the second section, which as again is up another platform height, and then realising that the windows don't really match, but they fit fine into there, and then grabbing this out. Now, as I say, we get this area here just has a bath and a shower in it, so it's a bit more of a sort of a separate space. Maybe if somebody's showering, you can be doing your teeth or whatever into here, as it is a nice sort of romantic getaway pad. At least that was the plan I had into here. So taking those windows into there, so they're actually the external windows, but I just put them in there and then delete the walls, and they stay in fine as like that, and it doesn't cast it as a second room or anything like that in there, and your sim can easily get through into there. And then this is the bathroom, so we are nearly coming up to working on the outside. So I did show you that big sort of deck, sort of front terrace area that I said about earlier on, in there as well. A few more bits of sort of clutter, sensible clutter. I think I did limit myself, and it was a struggle. As somebody who spends hours doing kitchens and stuff, it was a really big struggle. And that's one thing that I find with like commercial lots, rentals, things like that. I tend to go over the top. But this is very stripped back. It's very modern. It's very minimalistic. It's very simple. Like, I even forget to put a soap in the bath, in the by the sink. So yeah, I am totally forgetting lots of stuff here. But there is a bin. There is a bin on this lot as well, and there might not be an external bin, but you know. Anyway, moving on. Moving on from that one. I do get a mailbox, and I did put a mailbox in here. It was one of the first things I did, and then I did think to myself, do I need a mailbox because it is a resident rental? But I couldn't remember if we needed one, but it's in here anyway. Completely off topic. Anyway, we get this is getting the curtains and the blinds and stuff in here, trying to get them in custom placements. It's so annoying that they snap to the windows because I really don't want them to. So having to sort of fight and take the windows out and get all of those in. That's one thing that I could really do without, is free movement of like curtains and blinds and stuff. If anyone's listening, yeah, can we please have that? Thank you. Yeah, thank you in advance. Yes, this is the big sort of deck area. I do a lot of the landscaping in between here. So yeah, the front sort of area is all done, as I said, but then around this, there's just a lot of sort of open grass, lots of sort of rocks that are all kind of built up, so it looks like it's on this sort of rock platform area that we have. And yeah, it's coming together quite nicely into here. And then this wooden pile, I think is a debug item from high school, but it works really well in here because obviously you've got the wood fire and things like that. So we get that in here, and then a little barbecue area, maybe for those summer days in here. And there's a few items that, and this is the point where I realised that I've used the desert lux, so I need to use a few other things from it as well. So that's why we come around and change all of that. But we are coming up to the screenshots, so I shall say farewell here. But you can follow me basically on all social medias. The links for that are down below as well. But for now, sit back and enjoy the screenshots, and I look forward to seeing you all again really soon. But until then, stay happy and stay building. Bye everyone!